G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back for another episode of Wasteland Survival. So last week's episode I got the majority of this room done. The only thing I really need to do now is get these hydrogen tanks actually connected up to the rest of the base. And we have a bit of an air leak in this room as well, and I'm pretty sure it is coming from those armored conveyors that sit underneath these industrial hydrogen tanks. So I basically need to replace those with something else. Now, normally what I would do is I would actually conveyor these tanks up via the bottom, but since I have this pipe here running to this point, and we have quite a big gap in between these rooms, so this would be pretty much my wall on this room, and then this would be my wall on this room. So this whole area here is essentially just like a big gap. So what I can do is just run the conveyor system from the bottom here, which should be around here somewhere. Run that underneath the floor up through this wall, and then just connect it up through here. And then it would mean that I have a lot less pipes running around the place. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to do. And hopefully that will actually resolve my issue where these tanks are leaking. Well, at least I believe that they are leaking. So I'll just end up replacing those with just straight up steel blocks. So we'll just do that. Now, there was another thing that I wanted to talk about. So I was thinking with these walls, they look pretty good the way that they are with these beam blocks. But I could essentially go ahead and change them to something like this. If we go, let's see here, so we could put in one of these blocks like this. That's a T-junction block. I don't know if that's the one I want. Yeah, a T-junction block, so we can place one of those in, and then I could grab one of these blocks here and put one of those in there. Weld these two up. So we could do something like that, and then put beam blocks all along the roof here. The only problem I'm going to have if I go ahead and do that, and especially for all of the other rooms that I've already done, is as you can see, I've got, yeah, there's like a gap here. So I would essentially need to either place in some blocks along the top like this all the way across, or I would have to place in something like this. Maybe some of these light armor panels, so we could just place them there like that, and then that would essentially still keep the room airtight. Where's the flat one? The square one? Yeah, there we go. So we could put something in like that. And then if we go over to this side and have a look, then, you know, it's kind of, yeah, it should still be airtight. And also, another thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and change the color behind these blocks here to the darker gray. So I think that would look pretty good. But honestly, I reckon, even though it's going to be a lot of effort to do so, it would look pretty cool if I went ahead and changed everything in the base to these. But I cannot understate the amount of work that would take to do. See, I think one of the main problems is if I go over to another room somewhere, let's maybe go into the refinery room, because I know that actually has some air vents in the roof already, so we could kind of see what's going on. So let's go up here. Wow, it's pretty loud in here. Let's grind this block out. Oh, there's a conveyor there. Why is there a conveyor there? Okay, alright, well, let's grind this one out. So, okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to do some drilling. Okay, so here we go. Now see, this is what the problem is. I essentially have a pipe running across here, so I would need to redivert all of these pipes so that, you know, if I have an air vent, then I have a line of pipes going along there so that they do not interfere with whatever block is sitting on top to seal the room. So that would be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm sure it wouldn't be too much drama to get that done, although it would mean that I would need to use a little bit more PCU. Although I don't think I'm really too concerned about that, because if I have a look at the performance of the game at the moment, I've got 120 FPS, the thread CPU load is below 100%, the render CPU is way below that, and the GPU load is like 50%, so I don't think I'm too worried about the PCU at the moment. So yeah, we're just going to have to kind of figure that one out. Alright, so, but first, before we do anything, let's get rid of all this stuff. And let's get back into the room and start thinking about how to get rid of these little armored conveyor junctions and tubes and things like that sitting underneath these hydrogen tanks. So I think what I'll do is scoot on down here, and I may just drill a hole in my floor or grind a hole in my floor, and then we'll just go underneath the tank here and then remove those blocks and then just add in some regular blocks here. So now we can grind this one out, and then we can just go ahead and replace that with a that's interesting. Oh, okay, yeah, no. I thought it was sticking one block above the floor, but how could it be? I definitely put those up against the floor. So now I've got to do that another 9 times, and then we can continue on with this build. Okay, so all of these blocks are welded up. Now, a moment of truth. Let's see if this room actually does seal. So let's weld this up, and then everything should seal from now on. I don't think it's going to. Either that or it's taking a very long time to do so. Hang on. Let me just check this out. Let's close this door. And we are sealed. And then if I open this door again, we are not sealed. Oh. Well, the missing block in the roof might be a good place for it not to seal. Alright, let's test that out. Is it going to seal? No, it's not going to seal, is it? Alright, so somewhere in here I have missed a block, and I have no clue where it is that I've missed this block. So, alright, let me go away and figure out exactly what's going on here, and we can kind of, yeah, fix the problem. Well, as it turns out, I actually missed one of these conveyor ports. So let's weld a steel block underneath that, and let's try this again. So I can't see anywhere else where it would be leaking, so I'm sure this is what's causing the problem. It's the only thing that's different between this and every other. Ah, and there we go. Sweet. Fantastic. So, little bit of a celebratory jump there. Well, I actually bumped the key, but oh well. So yeah, turns out that the bottom of these tanks is not airtight, which is very strange given the diameter of the bottom of these tanks. And especially since the vanilla tanks, which is these ones here, this hydrogen tank here, is actually airtight on each of these faces. So because I have these in the Atlas, and I have a hole in the bottom of the ship, and then a thruster basically plugged directly into the tank like that. So yeah, what the? Anyway, you know what? The room is basically sorted out. Everything is airtight, and I think what I'll do now is go ahead and replace all of these blocks that run across the roof here with these beam blocks, and we'll see how things look. Okay, so roof is all done now. Obviously all I need to do at this point is basically put in the blocks behind these, man, I always forget what these are called, these beam blocks. So let's get rid of this block, and hopefully I have enough blocks on me to actually do this, or enough steel plates. So I think I'm just going to go for this method here. So we're just going to add in these light armor panels all the way along this, why won't it let me place that? Yeah, all the way along these beam blocks, and then weld these up, and whoa, almost died. Yeah, as I was saying, put them all along the roof here, and get these welded up, and see if everything remains airtight. Okay, there we go. So everything is now welded up, and I think so far it's looking pretty good. Maybe it would be nice if I just kind of left the light grey behind these blocks to kind of make them stand out a little bit more. Although, to be honest, I don't know if I really want that to happen. But, I don't know, it just adds a little bit more detail into the room. Ideally, I think what I would like to do is have these blocks just go straight across, because it kind of makes sense for them to be, since they're support braces, to be a block out. But then I would have to go through some really funky transitions to get the the air vents to work properly. So I think I'm just going to leave it like this, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But, you know, as always, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now the only thing I need to do from here is color in these blocks behind here. I don't think I will be able to reach them, so I think, wait, is it this color? I think the only way I'm going to be able to reach those blocks behind these ones is, can I do it from here? No, I can't. So either I download the Digi Spray mod, or I basically just do it in like the spectator camera, which I think I probably will do. Normally I don't like to use tools like that because they are kind of creative mode tools, but for something like this, you know, it's pretty harmless. I'm just repainting a few blocks, so we'll probably do that. Okay, so that is all of this stuff done. Room is airtight. All this is looking pretty good. Unfortunately, I couldn't use any sort of creative tools to do that, so I literally had to grind away every single one of these blocks, recolor the blocks behind them, and then weld them back up again, which honestly, that sucked. And this is the biggest room I think I have in the base, but yeah, it pales in comparison to the total number of pillars that I have throughout the base. So this process is going to take me a very long time, and I'm not going to do that on camera. Probably going to do it off camera over a couple of days, because that's probably how long it will actually take me. And but you know, I think in the end it will be worth it, because it will make the base look awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So okay, now that this room is done, I think what we should do is get all these hydrogen tanks connected up. Now they are still turned off. I think what I need to do as well is go and turn off all of the O2 H2 generators throughout the base. I'll just make sure every one of these is turned off, because what I said before is I don't want those tanks to be full. Basically I want to control the flow of hydrogen between the Atlas and these tanks without them trying to be filled up with all the ice that I've got, because I still want to leave a little bit of ice in the base so that I can fill up my bottles and things like that. So alright, let's get started with this this conveyoring. So what I'll do first is I'll go to this cargo container here. I will make sure I've got nothing on my inventory, which I don't. What I probably should do, no, you know what, I'll get rid of everything on here. So I need to move everything out of this container because I want to grind it away. So we'll just place everything in here. That'll do. And then we can just grind this thing away and get rid of this one as well. And where do I need to be? Alright, so I may just grind a block on either side here, because if I'm not mistaken, that is about the same level as where this conveyor junction is. Not really, but it's close enough. So let's drill from here, and I'll go up by one block if I can, and then we'll drill over to this side, and it should be around about here somewhere. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Fantastic. So now I just need to pipe that up and then run down to the floor. So we'll do the same on this side. Oop, there we go. Make sure I don't damage it. And then we just need to kind of go all the way down. So what I may do here is just go straight down until I get to the floor. Okay, so I'm pretty much at the floor, I think. I'll do the same on this side as well. Okay, again, I think I'm at the floor, but I'm not sure. So what I'll do instead is we'll go from this end. So let's move away from here. Ah, how many blocks back? That's 2 blocks back. So I want to grind this way. And we want to probably drill about here, I think. And then hopefully we should meet up with the hole that goes down. Ah, there we go. So there's one of them. And then we just do this. That was a bit ambitious. I'm drilling my base away rather than the voxels. Oh, here we go. Okay, cool. So there's the hole for this side as well. That one's a little bit wonky though. You know what? I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff. And then we should have no troubles trying to weld this stuff up as well. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. Make a bigger hole. Why not? Now, where am I going to grab the components for this stuff? Alright, we're going to have to squeeze through here and then grab it from these O2H2 generators up here. Although, actually, you know what? I think I might actually have a few components on myself to be able to do this. So I'll grab just a straight tube, if I can find it. There we go. And then a 90-degree angled tube like that. And then we'll just run our straight tubes all the way down here. Okay, so I need a right angle there. That, and then a T-junction. So where's my T-junction? There we go. Man, I love these T-junctions. I can't believe they added them to the game. I really never thought they would. This one. I believe it was this one. Then this one, and this one. Okay, cool. And now I just need to weld all of those things up, and then we should be good to go. I think first though, I'll block off this hole. So I'll place in my block that should be here in the first place. So we got rid of that small cargo container. Come on, let me through. And there we go. And now we can go ahead and weld all these things up. So I will I'll see how much I've got on myself to actually do it from here, but I suspect it's not much, because I think I only got rid of I didn't get rid of that many tubes. So alright, let's weld these things up. Alright, cool. So that's all these blocks done. What have we got here? A Reaver Slayer. I don't think I want to worry about that too much. So, just need to withdraw 2 of these armor blocks. Place them in here for my walls. Although I think at some point, I really need to think about these hallways, because they're all chop and changed. There are so many different types of these hallways that I really should probably think about making them all the same. I believe on the power room, which is this room here, and this one actually has automatic doors. See, I've got these things here, but honestly I don't think I'll be able to use that I'll be able to use it in this hallway, but not this one here, because this is only like a half block. So that's occupied by this door, so those hallway blocks would kind of end here, so I can't really use them throughout the base. So I think instead I'll just use like the new sci-fi interior walls, which is these ones here, much like what I've done in the other rooms. So, you know, stuff like that. I think that's what I'm going to use to sort out these hallways. So, alright, the only real thing I need to do from this point to finish this room is put in my air vents. So I don't know really where I want to put them. Maybe I'll just put a single row all the way down, or perhaps I could put them like basically here. So one there, and then all the way down there in a big row, and then another row over this way as well. I think that would probably look best. So, but the thing is, I need to do this room too, because this room doesn't have any air vents. So I need to do both of them at the same time. Alright, so let me get up into the roof and then we can start laying these things down. Okay, so it's probably been 2, 3, maybe even 4 hours since the last time I hit the record button. I've gone ahead and I've actually replaced all of the pillars throughout the base with these beam blocks here. Yeah, okay, whatever. So yeah, as I was saying, I've replaced the majority of these pillars with these beam blocks, and so far, honestly, I think I'm really loving it. So here is the reactor room. That's looking pretty good, the control room at least. I decided here at least what I was going to do is just leave the light grey behind these pillars. And then in here, if we take a look here, you can see that I've done this room as well. So everything is looking pretty sweet. I've done the roof as well, but there is another thing that I kind of wanted to show you guys. So if we head back on into the other room where I was before, I know I said I was going to get up into the roof to do these air vents. I kind of lied. So, well, I decided, you know what, I might as well do all of the pillars throughout the base before we start that process, and then I can kind of figure out what I want to do with these air vents. And the plan initially was to basically just get these blocks here. So let's just grind these out. And for example, the plan was just to place them here. So I'll grab my air vent and we'll just place one down there, one there as well. And we'll weld these two up. Okay, so they're welded up, and as you can see, like, it just doesn't really look that good. I don't know why. Wait, why am I leaking air in this room? Oh, yeah, that's right. I've got 2 blocks missing. Of course. Yeah, so that was basically the initial plan, but to be honest with you, I don't really like this look. You have these nice beam blocks going across the roof, and then I have these air vents just kind of sticking out. So I was just kind of thinking to myself, well, what can I really do about that? So there is really only, well, I guess there are multiple options. I could just leave it the way it is. Or I guess what I could do is put in some air vents on the walls or something like that, like hidden down there so you can't see them. But, you know, I've gone ahead and I've run the pipes through every single room up to the roof, so for me to move those to the walls, and in some cases these rooms are like literally sharing the same wall, so in some rooms putting them on the side just wouldn't be an option and I'd have to put them on the floor. So I really needed a solution to put these on the roof where it actually looked half decent. So I think I've come up with a solution for that. So I was thinking, well, these beam blocks are actually not airtight, so I can kind of use that to my advantage. So I'll show you what I've kind of come up with. So we'll go up here into the roof, and I've already run a conveyor to this room. So, you know, we've got our conveyor system here, and as you can see, I've ground away a lot of these blocks, and I'll show you basically what I come up with. So I'm going to start my vents from about here. So I reckon I'll have 2 vents in each, well, 2 vents in each of these kind of pillars. So we'll have 6 vents in total for this entire room. So what we'll do is we'll grind these blocks out, and I'll place my vents there. So let's grind these ones out. Okay, so they're all ground out. Now we can go ahead and start placing our vents. But obviously we can't really place them here because, you know, they're half blocks. So what I'm going to do to get around that issue is I'm just going to basically place in some regular armor blocks here. So we'll place one, actually we'll get rid of this one. So what we need to do is place them in an arrangement like this. Critical. Yes, I know my energy is low. And then from there, what I need to do is just grab my air vent and just place it like this. So I think on this side, I'll have the top on the outside. So we'll go like that, and then I'll spin it around like this, and then we'll have it like that as well. So then what I'll do is I will actually weld these up. Okay, so now they're welded up. I actually realized that I didn't need to get rid of these beam blocks, but now you can see they're kind of sunken into the roof, and I can't really see them, so it's great. I get to have my nice clean roof with these beam blocks going all the way across, and I don't really need to worry about these things kind of popping out past that point. And yeah, that's basically it. That's basically what I'm going to do for the rest of these rooms. Now, unfortunately, and the reason why I've been gone for so long, is I actually had to make some significant modifications to all of the pipework up above these rooms. And obviously, it's pretty obvious, since these air vents were kind of flush with... can I get to the roof? There we go. Since the air vents were here, and now I've moved them up one block, I've essentially had to move all of these pipes up by one block. So I had to grind everything out, reposition everything, and weld up all this new stuff. So it has taken me a very long time to get all of that done. But honestly, I think it looks really good. And actually, one room I would like to show you just before we get started with this one is the medical room, because honestly, that room just looks absolutely awesome. So I'll head on up there and I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so here we are in the medical room. As you can see, I've changed the cross to be green. And yeah, the beam blocks just look absolutely awesome. As I mentioned before, I think I mentioned this, but I am tempted to change this back to the light grey in every single room, because I don't know if I really like the dark grey behind it. But you know what? I am going to have to find a creative mode solution for that. I don't want to do it in creative mode itself, because with creative mode, it will just go ahead and fill up all my hydrogen tanks without me even having any ice in my base. So I think what I need to do is use creative mode tools in survival mode to do that. Like color these blocks with the spectator camera. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'll think about that and I'll have a look at it later. But the problem with this room was I kind of failed to realize that these catwalks were only attached by these blocks here. So when I went ahead and ground these down, yeah, the catwalks kind of fell off, and then I had to redo the catwalks and the lights and everything like that. So that was a bit of a bummer, but hey, you know, it only cost me an extra 15 minutes or so, which, you know, isn't too much in the grand scheme of things. I just realized I need to get rid of that light. Yeah, so, alright, well, let's head on downstairs and let's get the pipe work done for this other room. Alright, fantastic. So, that is all these air vents done. Now we can start laying out our pipework. Oh, if I don't fall through the roof and die first. So you can see here that what I'm going to have to do is these blocks actually take up a full block space, so I can't just run a conveyor straight over here. So I'm going to have to go up and then over this block here and then feed these air vents like that. So to that end, we will place in a 90-degree curved conveyor tube, and then we'll place another one on top. Then we'll just run a straight pipe, another straight pipe, another straight pipe there, and then here we will have actually no, we'll get rid of this one. Then here we'll have a T-junction, and then from this point I'll just have a curved conveyor, a T-junction that goes like this, if I can orientate that correctly, and just for ease I will place in all my T-junctions now, and then we just run our 90-degree conveyor here like so. Why is that not okay, whatever. Place in our straight conveyors, and that's pretty much all I need to do. And then we do the same thing on the other side here. I noticed that the game lags a little bit though when I do this. Every time I place a little conveyor, the game lags a little bit, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But I think it's just because of the sheer amount of conveyors I have in this game at this point in time. It kind of doesn't really like me anymore. I did check the amount of PCU that I'm using in this base at the moment, and it's something like 95,000 PCU just for the base itself, and that's excluding the ships that I have. At least I'm pretty sure it does. So we'll get all this welded up, and it does look like a ugly mess of tubes, but then once you get down here it all looks very nice and neat and tidy. And yeah, so I'm really happy with how this has turned out. And as I said, I've gone ahead and I've done that for every other single room in the base. So yeah, it's going to look really nice once I'm done. Cool. Alright, that's all these tubes done. So now what I'll do is I'll seal up the room and we'll just make sure that it is indeed airtight. But first I should probably grab some steel plates because I will need those for this roof. We'll change it to this block here, which is this one. Spin that around, change the color, place those two in and weld them up. And now we should have oxygen. And look at that, fantastic. You even get the animations through these beam blocks as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm really liking this whole design aesthetic. The air vents are hidden, everything looks neat and tidy. It's just absolutely awesome. So now all I need to do is kind of replicate that whole strategy in this room here. And I'm pretty sure I got these conveyed up. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, so alright, well, let's head back into the roof cavity and let's get this roof done here. So alright, well, as you can see, all the pipe work is now complete. All the blocks are in place, air vents are done, all the beam blocks are placed back in their location where they should be. So now theoretically, if I seal up this room, then we should be good to go. Let us just confirm that theory. Ah, darn it. Probably should have withdrawn those components before, but oh well. Right, and now we should be airtight. Are we airtight? Ah, there we go. Although these air vents didn't really have any animations, so that was a little bit disappointing. So in this room, well, in all of the rooms, I've basically decided to forego air vents there because I decided that, you know, like 8 air vents in this room here and then 6 in, well, this one's got 10 actually. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 10 air vents in this room and then 6 in this room and so on and so forth is plenty to get this room pressurized. If I was to, let's say, close this door, grind this block out, we'll grind this one actually because I might grind the catwalk so you can see. Then we put the block back, weld this up, and then the room should become pressurized very quickly. What? Why is it not pressurizing? Okay, so either I have run out of oxygen, which I find highly unlikely, or it's the game's just trolling me and I need to reload it. I think it's the latter. I think the game is trolling me and I need to reload the game because these are connected up just fine. So, alright, let's get rid of this cargo container here. Before I do so though, I want to withdraw the components for a 90-degree conveyor tube. Then we can get rid of this, and then we can go ahead and place our tube in place of that, which will be this block, except I'll make it that color. And there we go. Now everything is done. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have oxygen left. Let me just double check that I do. Yeah, I've got plenty of oxygen, which I should do because I have an air vent outside that's drawing in air at all times. So I should have plenty of oxygen. So, now, the next thing I need to do is finish this room. And then I need to go upstairs and I actually need to do the hangar. Now the hangar is going to be a little bit more difficult because the blocks are very similar to this. So I've got my half blocks actually sticking out of the roof. Very similar to this kind of scenario here. So I don't know how I'm going to implement the beam blocks there. I'm pretty much going to have no choice but to put the air vent on top of those. Or maybe I can do the exact same thing as what I've done in all these rooms and place them behind these beam blocks here. So I think that's going to be the next thing that I'm going to tackle. I know that I said I was going to get the engine room done, but I think we might have to swap that out for next episode because I really want to get this refit done in this episode. So, alright, I'll see you guys in the hangar. Alright, and there we have it. So it's pretty much complete. There's probably a few other little changes I need to make, like for example, if I go over to this corner here, you can kind of see the voxels are poking through, but that's a small issue and I can kind of sort that out at a later stage. Words are hard today. I've decided to just kind of leave the light grey behind these blocks, and I do think that I'm going to go ahead and change that in the rest of the base so that it kind of looks a little bit nicer. So yeah, I'll probably do that, and then also the next thing I'll do is I'll probably move these air vents behind these what do you call them again? Beam blocks. That's right. I always forget the name of these things. I'm pretty sure I've got plenty of room up here, so but the problem with these air vents is that they are kind of hooked up to these timer blocks. So before the doors open, all these air vents depressurize this entire room. Then the doors open, and then when I come back inside, you know, it does the exact same process, and that's controlled by a group. So I've got this group here. I don't know if I delete all of these vents all at once, that this group kind of disappears. So I think what I'll do is, as I replace these air vents with the ones behind these beam blocks, I will then add them to the group so that the group kind of remains and that's all functional, because I don't want to have to go messing around with that again. So alright, I believe behind here we just have some conveyor tubes, which we do. So here I don't know which color I want to make this. I'm gonna have to make it this color, aren't I? So actually, can I place it here? Yeah, I can. I can just place the air vent there, which works out perfectly fine. So I might just be able to get away with the existing setup that I've got. So let's make them dark grey. Wait, is this the same dark grey? I feel like it's a different colour. Yeah, the floor's lighter than the roof. That's interesting. I don't know when I went ahead and changed that. Alright, so well, first of all, let's go ahead and place in our conveyor junctions. So let's grab our vent, and then we can just place it there. Fantastic. And then I just need to name this one, I don't know what I name this one. Base hangar air vent 1, I suppose. Yeah, so I'll name this one number 1, and then every future vent from this point forward, I'll just name something else. I'll leave these blocks here light grey, even though it doesn't really match up. It still kind of looks good, and yeah, it's kind of hidden, so that just looks so much better than that. So yeah, I wonder though, what is behind this one? Exact same thing, so I just need to drill this out though, without damaging the walls. Did I damage the wall? Yeah, I did a little bit. Okay, that's fine. And then we just go ahead and place in our air vent. So we'll place it in like that. And the beauty part about this is that because they're sunken so far into the roof, I don't really need to worry about which way these things are orientated, because you can't even see them. So if I place thank you. Didn't want to go into build info or build vision. Yeah, I mean, you can barely see those lines there, so I can just put them that way all the way through the center and it should be fine. You won't ever really notice it. So alright, well, I'll go away and I'll repeat that process, and I guess while I'm away I'll fix up all these voxels that are kind of poking through, and yeah, we can kind of continue on with the next thing. Oh, Reaver Tormentor. Interesting. That's a pretty decently sized Reaver, so oh well, I won't worry about him because my antenna is switched off at the moment, of which I actually need to switch that on at some point, but for the moment it's switched off, so he's not going to come and bother me, so don't need to worry about that. Alright, I'll be back once all this is done. Okay, so that is the remodeling complete. Well, at least as far as I want to go. Now, I was going to go ahead and get rid of these voxels here, but I kind of had an idea. So I'm just kind of thinking that it kind of looks a little bit strange with these parts up here, and now that there is no vent here, and I have like this kind of channel running through the center, it kind of looks out of place. So I've got kind of two options. I could just get rid of it, or I could kind of extend it down the walls. Now, if I extend it down the walls, it would mean that I have to move these catwalks here. So that is a bit of a shame, but honestly, it's not really the biggest... yeah, maybe, because I'd have to move this one here as well, but that's alright. I am willing to take that hit. Maybe I can just like move this further out. So anyway, let's see what it looks like. So what I'll do is I'm going to grind away this block here, and this one, and then this one here. And I'll do the same on this side. And while I'm at it, I may as well do near this wall as well.
Inventory full.
Okay, now that's all ground away. My inventory's full, so I've got a whole bunch of steel plates just sitting on the floor. That's alright, we'll be able to sort that out. Oh, I didn't grind away those blocks there. Whoops. Okay, so let's start on this side then. Now, what I'm thinking is I need to get a block that can go from there to there, and I think I should be able to use these ones here. So probably like that. Very nice. And then like that, and then I'll need to use one of probably these corner blocks here, but spin it around that way. And then I suppose while I'm here, may as well do this side, and then this side too. Then we'll grab these blocks again, spin those around, and then I'll place another one here like that. Then I'll do the same over this side as well. So, like, is that the right way? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, like that. Then I'll just grab my 2x1 tips, and we can just place those in like this. So, place them in there. Oh yeah, I need to put a block there as well. That's alright, I'll get around to that. So down here we'll place in one of these, like that, and then my tip all the way up the wall. Go over and do the same thing on this side. Can't believe I forgot to grind those blocks out. That was a very amateur move on my behalf. Whoops, I forgot to do this side too. Alright, let's spin this around. Place this there. Right, now let's weld these up and see how it looks. Okay, so that is all of those done. I don't know. It looks a little bit strange on this wall here because it's like, yeah, it's like really close to that wall. What could I do to get around that? I suppose I could like sink this wall in at this point, but that's alright. I'm more worried about what it looks like here, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I reckon it looks pretty good. The only thing is I need to make some extensive modifications to these catwalks, and I think the main issue I've got here is these lights are in the way. So what I would simply do is just move out this catwalk here, or get rid of this one, change this for an end piece or a corner, and then just place the stairs there. But I'm going to have to extend them out to go over that light. So let's try this out. Let's
Energy
grab
low.
our catwalk. So I want a catwalk with a corner piece. Greater catwalk end. Now that we have these half catwalks in here, I have to scroll forever to find the one that I need. Which I guess is not a bad thing, because at least we have half catwalks. So you can do things like walkways, stairways a lot easier than what you could before. Because I remember when I was trying to do the refinery room and things like that, I had to really think hard about creating a walkway in the center there. As I was saying, it was kind of difficult to get that working. Okay, so I can foresee this staircase falling down on me, so I'm going to pin that against the wall, and then we shall grind away this block, and we will replace that with one of these, a catwalk corner piece, which will be this one. Spin that around like that, place that in, everything's looking sweet. Get rid of these two, get rid of this one. So here I will need a catwalk with a railing on one side, which will be this one, and then I'll place in another catwalk straight, and then another set of stairs. Oh, I can't do that. Okay, so I'll have to place in a set of stairs. Oh, like this. How does that look? Honestly, it doesn't really look, you know, too much different than this kind of setup. And now, I have the space that I need to get what I want to done. So all I need to do is replicate that on this side. I'll do... You know what? I'll do all of them. And then we can kind of see how this looks on every single aspect of this room. I don't know though, it does look a bit strange because of the way, I think because of the way the light is reflecting off these, it does look a little bit strange. Although, I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Okay, so here we are, and I have completed this side. I've done the other side a little bit differently, but I'll show you that in a minute. So yeah, I've done this entire side, and it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, and then on the other side, I've actually gone ahead and I've changed it to this. So these blocks here are actually the new blocks, which is these ones here. The light armor slope transition bases. So you can see that this one is that block up there, and then if I spin it around, it then becomes that block there. So what I was trying to do was make it less kind of transitioning straight to this piece here and kind of sticking out a little bit. Now I know what you're thinking, I could probably just put in some 2x1 bases, so I could just go like this. So let's get rid of these two blocks for example. So I could essentially just do something like this and achieve something similar, and then just put in some half slabs there and there, and then select my 2x1 base, spin that upside down, and I could do something like that. But then the pillars kind of become a little bit too big, if that makes sense. If I do it on both sides, it looks even worse. But I think this is kind of a decent compromise between this and this. I mean, this kind of just looks too smooth, if that makes sense. So I don't know if I'm going to go for this or if I'm going to go for that. I am kind of leaning towards this whole setup here. Yeah, so that's my thoughts, but you know, as usual, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get time to actually go ahead and remove all of these voxels because I got to actually grind away quite a few blocks to do that. Another thing is that I'm thinking about is moving this pillar here forward one so that I can fully have the pillar, because it looks a bit strange with half of it against this wall and the other half not. And the front one doesn't look too bad because, I don't know, these airtight hangar doors kind of, yeah, it kind of hides the fact that it's right up against it. And then also I've got to go ahead and remove this sensor and replace it there or something like that. So I still got a little bit of work to do. And also I would probably like to do the same thing outside, and then also on top of that I would actually like to replace these airtight hangar doors with the new ones that they added in the last update. Let's see if I can find them here. These ones. Yeah, so we have our standard airtight hangar doors. And then we've got the new ones that they added. So they're warfare hangar doors. That's the one. And of course they're all the other way. So we've got the warfare hangar door and we've got the windowed one. So I would like to place in some windowed doors and then some various other different types of doors throughout here. Just to kind of dress it up a little bit, because these ones are looking a bit old. So I know I got a little bit sidetracked in this episode, and I started modifying a whole bunch of things that I had never really initially planned, but to be honest, it is kind of good to getting back to designing things and building things throughout the base, as opposed to constantly repairing things. And I still need to go ahead and replace some of the blocks in the Atlas with some refineries, or some of the tanks with refineries, which is the entire reason why I built the hydrogen room, which then led me to doing these pillars, which then led me into this hangar, and now I'm thinking about doing those things in the hangar. So I'm so far removed from the initial task that I had set out to do that it's yeah. But that is Space Engineers, and that's that's what happens in this game. You kind of get sidetracked with doing something else. So, but anyway, guys, that is pretty much all I've got time for in this episode. So I really hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, as always, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe. All right, guys, I will see you next time.